Wow, it's a full house. This meeting of the Oak Park City Council is called to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. City Clerk Ed Norris, please call the roll.
Mayor McClellan,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Levine, Councilmember Seligson,
Here.
Councilmember Burns,
Here.
Councilmember Speech.
Here. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to excuse Mayor Pro Tem Paul Levine's absence due to the death of his beloved mother.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next, there's one change to the agenda. Please add item 15B1, a request from the Ethnic Advisory Commission for $250 expenditure from their account, 15B1, and motion to approve the agenda as amended.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. We have the consent agenda. I would like to pull F, licenses, new and renewals. The following routine items are presented for council approval without discussion as a single item. Should any council member wish to discuss any item, it must be dropped from the blanket motion and considered separately. So we have our regular council meeting minutes of April 6, 2015, Board of Review meeting minutes of March 9th, 2015, March 17th, and March 23rd. C, Public Safety Activity Summary for February 2015. D, Communications Commission minutes of February 2015. Request approval of payment application number 3 final for the 2014 sewer lining project M588 to Instuform Technologies USA in the total amount of $1,000. A motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Motion carried. Item F, City Manager Tungate, please discuss licenses, new and renewals.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of council. If you look at the bottom of 5F, you will see the tavern license renewals for 2015. These are, in fact, our first time looking at renewing these licenses. And if you would turn to the final page of each of the two documents you've been provided, city staff, and in particular representatives of the Department of Public Safety, have reviewed the request for renewal of the tavern licenses for Jade Palace and Sahara Restaurant and determined that no conditions exist that would warrant denial of a renewal or require additional time to investigate the business. And these applications have been, as we are required in the city administration, have been reviewed by all of the necessary departments and then met the criteria that City Council has set forth in its policy guidelines, and they have been met with the approval and my signature for your approval.
Okay. Should we do these separately? Or
You
blanket?
have to at this
Yeah, we
point.
have to do them separately. Separately, okay.
Questions I can answer?
Any questions before we start about these applications? Councilmember Speech.
Yes, I just have a question, excuse me, about the application for the Sahara on page 6 of 9. It was, excuse my voice, there's on page 6 of 9, the box checked recommended for approval with comments, but there are no comments. I just wanted clarification there.
Mr. City Clerk, I know that was a question you had spoken about.
Yeah, I can verify that under my approval, that really should be recommended for approval. There are no comments. There are no additional items there.
Thank you.
It's actually in there, so if you approve it, it'll be in there.
As
And
it
you can do this all at once, because it's all listed at once, not separately, so.
Okay. So, motion to approve these new and renewals as submitted April 20th, 2015.
So moved.
Second.
Second. Any questions or discussion?
Are we approving,
Yes,
are we approving them collectively?
Yes.
together. Because they're one item on the agenda.
Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Welcome back. We are one of the few cities that has the tavern licenses have to come back every year and get approved again because we're real careful having it as a new thing. And these are stellar businesses that we're very happy to have in Oak Park. Okay, do we have elected officials? Would Board President, I think, Maxine Goodfriend, would you like to say a few words about the school district, or? No, you're fine. Okay. Okay. Next, we have something wonderful, special recognition and presentations. As mayor, I was asked to teach a workshop at Wayne State University, and the proceeds from that are going toward these prizes for these students who won awards for their wonderful artwork, wonderful detailed artwork that it's hard to believe elementary school students were able to achieve at this level. I had taught elementary school for a long time, and I have not seen anything this fine. So you should be very, very proud. We're going to call the students up as a group. All right. From Pepper Elementary, Avante Green, would you come up and kind of stand at the bottom here, face the audience? Avante Green. Yes, thank you. From Key Elementary, Jakayla Riddle. Welcome. From Einstein Elementary, Hallie Rogers. From Oak Park Preparatory Academy, Amira Christmas. And from Oak Park High School, Kelly Ritterhoff. And you can see these students' wonderful artwork out in the hall of, and they are getting, from the city, they are getting an award. Scooch together, be real friendly. There you go. Yeah. So which way? There you go. Yes. So we would like to present you with an award and a check for $50 for winning the first place from your school. Your friends and classmates did an astounding job as well. It was impossible to pick the best out of all those wonderful achievements. And I wonder if we can we have the art teachers, if whoever's here, the art teacher, please stand for a picture with the group. Stan Trumpeter, can you come on up and get in this? And maybe we can stand in the, in the back. And also Maxine Goodfriend, can you come up? Who else? Principal. Our high school, our principal is here. Is Alicia Henderson here? Alicia Henderson? Mrs. Bingham? You can take in behalf of her. Wonderful. There was a mayor's award that I would like to buy one of them to hang in the mayor's office, and we thought we'd honor another person, and Alicia Henderson was the honoree, and accepting on behalf of Alicia is her teacher, Eileen Bingham. Who else? Say it again. Oh, come on. Yes, absolutely. This was a first that I was very pleased with. The school district of Oak Park and the city of Oak Park coming together for a wonderful event honoring its children and honoring their achievements. So we are delighted, hope this will happen again, and we're delighted that you could all come and be here for this. Okay, next comes public hearings. Next, we're going to conduct a public hearing to hear comments and concerns on the following special assessment districts. 641, unpaid false alarm invoices. 642, unpaid weed mowing invoices. 643, unpaid sidewalk repair invoices. 644, unpaid water invoices. 645, unpaid special pickup invoices. 646 unpaid snow removal invoices, and 647 unpaid miscellaneous invoices. I now declare the public hearing open. Anyone who would like to speak, please give your name and address to the at the mic. A lot of people came in with concerns that were handled out in the hall by our staff. Perhaps anybody else want to speak? Anyone want to speak? Anyone want to speak? Clerk, sorry? Sir, yes, please come up. Give us your name and address, please.
Thank you. I'm Peter Schneider from Ridgedale Street. My comment is specifically to, I'm sorry, it's the, number C, letter C, with reference to the sidewalk repair. Like a lot of other Oak Parkers, my sidewalk was completely replaced, in 1992 by the Macomb Company. They did an excellent job, and I say that because as of last fall, my sidewalk was still in very good condition when the city sent a person around who marked 7 sections for replacement. I did appeal that and had 1 removed from the list. I have filed the form outside because I felt there were 2 others that had nothing wrong with them. My comment here is simply that I feel that the late fee 10% penalty with reference to the sidewalk is not fair. That sidewalk will be there for many, many years. In fact, as I said, as of last fall, my sidewalk from 1992 was in almost perfect condition. Many of us, at least myself, and I'm sure other people, are in a difficult situation economically right now. That sidewalk is going to be there for many, many years, and I simply don't think it's fair to assess a late fee and penalty for something that is of such long-lasting duration when many of us are facing economic hardships right now. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. And did you speak to someone at the table outside about this particular issue?
Yes, I did, Madam Mayor.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Clerk Norris, are there any written objections to read into the record? Oh, sorry.
My name's Kate O'Leary. I'm on West Hampton Street in Oak Park. And all of what he said, as well, I feel like the city staffing was not very responsive when I made a call to inquire about options to postpone the repairs. The city employee simply said, well, you don't have to pay it right away. It'll go on your taxes next year. And there really wasn't much opportunity to contest the planned repairs, and I believe that some of them were very much excessive, as a gentleman before stated. So at the very least, I agree there should not be a penalty, a late fee. And I also believe the city should be a little more open, especially in these difficult times economically, for people to at least contest whether the repairs are necessary. And I did not find that happening.
Did you call DPW? Because somebody will come out and come and check your sidewalk with you and discuss the options. If you check with the people at the table in the back hall, they might be able to help you out.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was just one of those things that I felt I didn't have time for, you know, and I thought maybe I could just talk with them about even postponing the entire job. I unfortunately didn't have time to get out there with an inch ruler to and meet with someone, but you know, I understand that was an option, but the whole they did my entire front sidewalk.
Thank you. Please.
Good afternoon. Good evening, I'm sorry. My name is Natasha Harmon, 15321 Marlowe. And I was just wanted to say something. I'm a first-time home buyer, and I was not aware of how, you know, a lot of things in Oak Park goes as far as how often do you do the repairs, knowing that the homeowner has to come out and pay for it and everything. So this is the first time that I'm experiencing this. I'll be in my home 5 years. Matter of fact, this year in April. And I was very surprised of, you know, when they came out and I was like, what's going on? You know, and then my neighbor said, well, you're going to have to pay that bill when they come. And I'm like, what? You know, so I'm just basically wanted to know, like, how often does this occur and why it's piggyback on back what the 2 people just said ahead of me for a late fee when I'm a single parent. I have 2 daughters, 18, about to get ready to graduate this year from Oak Park High School, and there's a lot that's on my plate. And to be paying, you know, I will be paying it, but to have a 10%
penalty.
added on to that. I just don't think that's fair, with the timing, it is now.
It's about once every 17 years that they
17.
get to, sorry?
7.
Talk to Director Barrett behind you about any of your concerns. Director Barrett, how often do they fix a certain sidewalk?
Evening, Mayor, Council, City Manager. We have a map that's designed moving through the city, and it's approximately is around 17 years now. The first time we came through we did the whole city within 10 years, and it was like a 5 or 6 year program recurring, but then we discovered that the sidewalks were in better shape and the property owners needed a little bit of a break, and we decided to go a sidewalk program every other year. Now, every other year schedule is going to put us out around 17 years.
Some people are saying that it looks like my sidewalk's okay. Can you just review a few of the things that an okay piece of sidewalk might have wrong with it that would cause it to need to be removed, like tilted or?
Yeah, I could do that. We're looking for things more than just cracks in the sidewalk or lips in the sidewalk, because our program has opened up every 17 years and we're not going to come back. So when we start seeing events where the flags converge on each other, where they're tilted in on each other, or if they're tilting back towards a house, which
No, if they're tilted in, why is that a problem, like in the winter or?
it has potential of holding water, which can ice in the winter.
So somebody could slip and fall, even though the two pieces look okay.
Correct. And another typical one that most homeowners don't recognize is that it's called a cross slope, and it's reasonably expected for most ADA pedestrians to expect the sidewalk to be tilting one way, which is typically around 2% towards the street. Now, if that slope becomes excessive towards the street or tips it back towards the house, that is unreasonable and does not meet ADA requirements, even though the piece of sidewalk looks like it's okay, but it is not meeting ADA requirements.
So you can have a piece that looks like good cement, but it's tipped, and that's why it has to be replaced.
Correct.
And then if there are holes in it, somebody could trip in the hole. And I know that I get to do a couple of mine because there is a difference between one piece of sidewalk and the other, and that would be a trip hazard.
Right. Like I said, the trip hazards and the cracks in the holes, most residents recognize that, but the ones I just explained are the ones they typically don't
Right,
recognize.
the tipping, because it could be a perfectly nice-looking piece of cement, but it's tipped the wrong way. And it will catch ice, somebody could slip and fall and be hurt.
Correct.
So we like to have a walkable city, that you can ride your bike down the sidewalks and scooters and wheelchairs if needed. And it's costly, but it's an investment in our city. Thank you. Question? Yes, Councilmember Speech.
Yes, Director Barrett, can you explain the ADA? Just what does that mean? You keep referring to it, so I just want you to
That's a
explain
very good
that to
question.
people.
Thank you for asking that. ADA is Americans with Disabilities Act, and it's a federal law protecting the rights of people that are handicapped.
So
We're doing that in compliance with the federal law?
Yes.
When we're making sure that the sidewalks are ADA compliant, we're doing that in compliance with federal laws?
Exactly.
Okay.
right. I know that if you have questions, that Director Barrett will come out and recheck the sidewalk portions. They are meticulous in the work that they do. They are trying to keep Oak Park safe, and none of us wants to pay money for sidewalks, but I'm in there with you. We're getting ours fixed also, so.
About the reseeding, are they gonna, they haven't done anything with the lawn that they dug out? When is that gonna happen?
Talk to Director Barrett, the one at the.
Maybe to further explain is that anybody that filled out the form or is objecting to be on the assessment roll, special assessment roll, my department is going to do an initial investigation and find out what the issues are, and I'm going to follow up on that, and they will be hearing from me personally.
Okay. Director Barrett is extremely fair, and if you did fill out a form today, that will be checked into, and you'll have a chance to talk to someone about it. The city bends over backwards to be fair to its residents, and this is a wonderful department. Thank you, Director Barrett. Anyone else wish to speak? Yes, please.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Patience. I live on 24021 West Hampton. My comment is still on the same sidewalk issue. Somebody like me, I don't know, the financial situation right now is too bad. And I strongly believe that the 10%, I understand, our city needs to be clean and look good. And, since November, I've not been able to do anything. And then early this year, I've been sick, admitted in Burma Hospital. There is no income coming in for now. I don't know about tomorrow. So I humbly wish the mayor and our cabinet will please understand and then make things a little easier, and then think about the penalty on how to help people like us. Thank you.
Thank you. Speak to Director Barrett behind you about your issue. Yep. Thank you. Anyone else wish to speak? Anyone else wish to speak? Anyone else? City Clerk Norris, are there any written objections to read into the record?
Yes, Madam
Oh,
Mayor.
is there someone else? I think you see someone who wants to? Yes? Sure. Give us your name and address. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. My name is Ruth Hampton, and I am the lady that bought and just about finished paying for the house.
Address. Address. They want the address.
Okay, yeah. Tell them. At 10431 Oak Palm Boulevard. Now, as far as the alarm going off, I have no knowledge of any of that. It did happen some time ago that someone was setting the alarm off. Who it was, I don't know. That was back 2 years ago. And anything since then, I don't know anything about it. But I do know this much, that someone has been trying to put me out of that house since I got it. And I have put into that house $50,000 or $60,000 trying to bring it up to par. And I've just about done it all by myself.
We appreciate your investment in the house and appreciate very much.
Could I have my daughter let me know what you say, because I'm...
Sure. We appreciate your investment in your house. We appreciate having you as a resident. Please.
Appreciate you investing and having you as a resident.
And if you, Director Cooper is right outside the door. If you would talk to Director Cooper about the false alarms.
Okay.
Okay, and thank you both for coming.
Okay, thank you.
Can she talk to, let you talk?
No, there's somebody back here you talk to about the false alarms.
Oh, okay.
And she said thanks.
So I can sit down now?
No, we can go talk to him back here.
Oh.
It's another gentleman.
Thank you.
No, he said there's somebody back here we need to talk to. Oh.
Okay. I think we're ready for the written comments, written objections.
Madam Mayor and Council, I do have exception requests that were received this evening or in writing before this evening, and I'll read those now. Special Assessment District 641, unpaid false alarms, property address 22021 Park Lawn and 10431 Oak Park Boulevard. SAD 642, unpaid weed mowing. I'd like to read in the record address 10641 Corning. Special Assessment District 643, unpaid sidewalk invoices. Property address is 24541 Harding. 15321 Marlow. 24341 Ridgedale. 21611 Cloverlawn. 24280 Gardner. 24611 Ridgedale. 24721 Kenosha. 15011 Marlow. 15000 Dartmouth Street. 24600 West Hampton. 24540 Harding. 15050 Leslie. 24600 Sussex. 15411 Leslie. Special Assessment District 644, unpaid water invoices. Property address 12710 Albany. Special Assessment District 645, unpaid special pickup. Property address 23570 Majestic. And Special Assessment District 646, unpaid snow removal invoices. Property address 22101 Beverly.
Thank you. And before we close, is there anyone else who wished to speak? Okay. I now declare the public hearing on Special Assessment District 641, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, and 647 closed. I will entertain a motion to adopt Special Assessment Resolution Number 9, confirming the roles and withholding the noted temporary exceptions, and Special Assessment Resolution Number 10, setting the due date of May 28, 2015, with a penalty for Special Assessment Districts 641, unpaid false alarms, 642, unpaid weed mowing, 643, unpaid sidewalk repair, 644, unpaid water invoices, 645, unpaid special pickup note invoices, 646, unpaid snow removal invoices, and 647, unpaid miscellaneous invoices. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. City Clerk, would you please do a roll call vote?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call. Councilmember Burns?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Levine? Mayor McClellan?
Yes.
Councilmember Seligson?
Yes.
Councilmember Speech?
Yes.
Okay, motion carried. Okay, we're on item 10, special licenses. First, a motion to approve Bookbeat at 26010 Greenfield in Oak Park has a request for special event license for a book signing event to be held May 2nd, 2015, with author readings, free and open to the public. It's Independent Bookstore Day. A motion to approve, please.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor? Aye. Motion carried unanimously. Come on down to Bookbeat, May 2nd, and hear the authors and be part of the celebration. Second would be Tri-Community Coalition 14700 West Lincoln in Oak Park. Request for special event license and a waiver of fee for a prescription drug take-back day to be held April 30th, 2015. It was presented last council meeting by Student Ambassador Devontae Light. Motion to approve this special event license.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried, unanimous. 10 to 20 students will be playing music, jump roping, dancing, holding signs to raise awareness about the event and draw attention. It's all day, from 3:30, let's see, all-day students. It will be actively participating after school from 3:30 to 5:30, but it will be available all day. And this is at the, is anyone here for this one? Nope. At the Public Safety Building, 13600 Oak Park Boulevard. So come on out if you have old medicine. You can return it any day, but this would be kind of a special day. Number 11 is accounting reports. I'd like a motion for approval of payment of an invoice submitted by Garen Lukow Miller, P.C., for legal services in the total amount of $30,433.05.
So moved.
Second.
Moved in. Is there discussion or questions? Can we just have our city attorney mention why this was, why we decided to invest in this particular case?
Okay, I think you're referring maybe to the charge for the court reporter that is on this invoice, and that is left over from our recent win in the Michigan Tax Tribunal in the Harmony Montessori matter. So that is half of the cost of the court reporter. We had to pay that in addition to the half paid by the petitioner. But also, I just want to make a note that this invoice here is the final invoice on our retainer services from Garen Lukow Miller for the 2014-15 year. This will be the last invoice you receive. Beginning with next month, you will receive an invoice. It's about $11,100 per month, which is reflected in our new retainer agreement that was passed by council last meeting.
Right. And we thought Harmony Montessori was a good one to set a precedent for in Oak Park.
That is correct. We have another that is on the agenda today that I am recommending settlement for, but the Harmony Montessori is one that we did take to a full tribunal hearing.
Right. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Mayor McClellan?
Yes.
Councilmember Seligson?
Yes.
Councilmember Speech?
Yes.
Councilmember Burns?
Yes.
Motion carried. Next, we have approval for a payment of an invoice submitted by Seacrest, Worrell, Lynch, Hampton, Truex, and Morley for legal services in the amount of $2,602. I'll entertain a motion to approve payment.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion or questions? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Seligson?
Yes.
Councilmember Speech?
Yes.
Councilmember Burns?
Yes.
Mayor McClellan?
Yes, motion carries. Next, we have bids. We have item 12A, request to award the bid for the 2015 code-ordered tree removal contract M620 to JMAC Tree and Debris Limited of Southfield for the total amount of $175,070, and to further request a budget amendment for fiscal year 2014-15 in the amount of $43,767.50. A motion to award this bid, please, and amend the budget.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Can we have someone speak to this?
We have Director Barrett, if you would.
Good evening again. Mayor, you did read the recommendation for this. This contract is for the dead trees that are on private properties. To give you a little brief history on this, in the past, we have not had a major issue with dead trees, and we have not had that many issues to have that many code orders. But this is becoming a reoccurring event in the code enforcement department, so we decided to bid this out to at least have an economical means for the tree to be removed, which is actually saving the property owner money when we do invoice them for the removal.
Okay. And the budget amendment?
The budget amendment for the first part, for the $43,000 for this budget year, is a placeholder because this is funds coming in and funds going out. The tree, the co-order tree removals will be invoiced to the property owner. It will be their responsibility. And if we do order $43,000 with the tree removals, we will expect to receive that back through invoicing.
So if I have a dead tree on my property, this group will remove it at a good rate, and then I will be billed for it?
Correct. And this is more going to be a complaint-driven or investigatively found through our code officers recognizing a dead tree that ends up being a hazard to the community. It's not a service for somebody to have their tree removed.
Right. It's so branches could fall on someone and hurt someone. It's a hazard.
Correct.
Got it. Okay. Any further questions? No. Roll call vote, please. Thank you, Director Barrett.
Councilmember Speech?
Yes.
Councilmember Burns?
Yes.
Mayor McClellan?
Yes.
Councilmember Selleck?
Yes.
Motion carried. Item B, request to award the bid for the 2015 fire hydrant blasting and repainting project M607 to Cross Renovation Incorporated of Garden City, Michigan for the total amount of $36,600. A motion to award the bid.
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Okay. Are there questions or discussion of the fire hydrant blasting and repainting? Yes, Councilmember Burns.
I recall us doing this also last year, a different portion of the city. So this is another portion that we're doing, and are there any more portions forthcoming that we have to do?
I'm going to have our Assistant City Manager speak to that, if I could.
Yes, thank you. Good evening. This is another section that we're going to do, so we have done this every year now for, I believe, the last 5 years. In the future, and this will cover all the hydrants in Oak Park, all of them will have been initially blasted and painted, and from here on out, we'll be doing maintenance items. Okay. So all of the hydrants in Oak Park after this project will have been blasted completely down to the bare metal and primed and painted.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any further questions? A roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Burns?
Yes.
Mayor McClellan?
Yes.
Councilmember Selleckson?
Yes.
Councilmember Speech?
Yes.
Motion carried. Next, we have a request to award the bid for the 2015 lawn maintenance contract, M631, J.E. Jordan of Detroit, Michigan, for the total amount of $67,940. I'll entertain a motion to award the bid.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion or questions? I have a question about, these would be lawn maintenance for people who are not, maybe property owners who are not fixing up keeping their lawns mowed.
Good evening. This project is for city-owned property.
Okay.
So these are parks and areas around our water facilities and water around our city facilities. These are boulevards, cul-de-sacs, different areas like that, greenbelt areas. So these are city-owned properties that we maintain. And also there is property on here from the Road Commission and from MDOT that they compensate us for maintaining.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. We have any questions for Assistant City Manager Yee? Nope. Thank you. Yes?
No questions, just a comment. I just want to applaud you for doing your due diligence and not taking the very first bid or the lowest bid and finding that and making a determination that you didn't think that that company would be able to accommodate our needs. So kudos to you and your department for following up on that.
I appreciate that. We have had this before, and last year we did have to rescind an award and hire another bidder after the fact. So we definitely are doing our diligence on our part to make sure we get the best contractor to do the best job here.
Right. Thank you. Excellent work, as always. Thank you.
Thank you.
Roll call vote, please.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes.
Councilmember Seligson.
Yes.
Councilmember Speech.
Yes.
Councilmember Burns.
Yes.
Motion carried. Next, we have item 13A. It's for second reading and adoption of an ordinance to amend Article 18 signs, Appendix A zoning of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Oak Park, Michigan. A motion for the second reading and adoption.
So moved.
Second.
And seconded. A discussion or questions?
I just have one question.
Yes, Councilmember Burns.
I am looking to make sure that the change was made that we agreed to in regard to the verbiage for the signs. I'm looking on here and I'm not locating it. We had agreed at the last meeting
Yep,
to make
that-
those changes.
I believe you're referring to the Mayor Pro Tem's change.
Yes.
That change will be memorialized into the ordinance change that we have in front of us.
What's that?
Okay.
Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Seligson.
Yes.
Councilmember Speech.
Yes.
Councilmember Burns.
Yes.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes, motion carries. Next is the city attorney portion, request approval for settlement of tax tribunal case 14-003-190 regarding LSREF at Oreo Direct Limited versus the City of Oak Park to authorize the city attorney to sign on behalf of the city. City Attorney Duff.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and Council. I'd just like to give you a bit of brief background about this property. This is a pending Michigan Tax Tribunal matter, and this is a commercial property that's located over on Greenfield Road. This property was originally annexed from Royal Oak Township back in 2003. It is a 290,448 square foot office building that has been appealed before the Michigan Tax Tribunal every year since 2003. We had a bit of an odd situation at this time. They actually sold the property within the past 4 months, so we were able to, instead of having to obtain an actual appraisal, we were able to use the actual sale of the property for our basis in value. The property did sell for $3,150,000 back in January 2015. We have stipulated to a true cash value at $3,425,000. Again, this is only with respect to the 2014 tax year. Going forward, there is a new property owner who has agreed to the current value that's set in place. So know that, again, this is just with respect to last year's tax, property tax filings. We have agreed that there will be no interest due. However, there will be a reduction of approximately $30,000 in taxable value for that 2014 year. Know that only a percentage of that goes to the city. I do not have that dollar amount, and I'll send you an email afterward, but it is less than 10% that we are actually losing, so to speak, for the 2014 year. But again, recall that these taxes have already been paid, so we are looking at a slight refund. And again, I'll get you that number, but it is less than $10,000. I do believe that this settlement is in the best interest of the city, again, given that this property owner has now sold the property. And I ask for your approval to sign off on this consent judgment and submit it to the tax tribunal.
Okay, will someone so move, please?
So moved?
Moved and seconded?
Second.
Discussion or questions? Yes.
Just have another, a comment, actually. So the refund that we will be receiving is much getting, is better than fighting this and starting up more legal fees, right?
That is correct. The amount of the refund would be negligible in comparison to, again, having to pursue this to a full-blown trial to end up with the exact same value that we have at this point.
Okay.
City Manager Tungate.
Councilmember Burns, members of council, mayor, I'd like to also remind you that it is, from a budget standpoint, we budgeted $150,000 to take on these sort of settlements and these sorts of tax tribunal cases, and I believe we're still far under that threshold, so I don't want you to think this is in addition to what we budgeted.
Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Speech.
Yes.
Councilmember Burns.
Yes.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes,
Councilmember Seligson.
Yes.
a motion carried. City Manager Tungate, would you please take Section 15?
Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of council. 15A is the elected officials' salary determination by the Local Officers Compensation Commission. Section 2-314 of the city charter requires the Local Officers Compensation Commission to meet every odd-numbered year to determine the salaries of all elected officials of the city, which determination shall be the salaries unless the city council by resolution adopted by 2/3 of the members elected and serving on the city council shall reject them. And the recommended action is accept or reject the determination of the Local Officers Compensation Commission increase the annual salaries of the mayor, mayor pro tem, and council members by 1.5%.
Can I ask why they decided did they compare it to other cities? Why did they decide to do this?
Well, first of all, it's hard to believe that they've already, it felt like just yesterday they met for the first time, but they've already met again now 2 years later. But we have provided for many of our employees for the first time in 8 years to have a 1.5% increase beginning July 1. And I believe they wanted to try to match that increase for our elected officials.
But we as a body have done away with the benefit that had existed before. In addition to the stipend that we get for coming to meetings and that, there was also insurance package that was added and pension. And this city council has done away with those perks, feeling that that was more fair for these times. This is not just, I think that there are councils, possibly Southfield, that get additional money, but I know that we are right now getting more than Troy, the mayor and city council get. Yes. Oh, motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. So I guess I'm saying don't accept it, that Huntington Woods Council gets $1 a year, Berkeley gets nothing. and-
That's more than they deserve. And if Councilmember Jenks comes here, I'll tell it to him personally, as I've told him in the past.
Got it. So, council, what are your feelings on this?
The last time, by the way, I'm here for the next 6 months and then I'm gone, so maybe I'm the person that really should speak to this. The last time that council's salary was changed was about 20 years ago. It's not long after I got on council. I don't even remember the last time, but it's a long, long time ago. Like I said, I'm not going to benefit much, maybe a half a year. This comes about $30 or something like this. But I have no problem with it. Spend a lot of time, do a lot of work here, and if anybody doesn't like it, they don't vote for us, and that's great.
Got it.
And I will vote no, and since you need 2/3, well, that gets you up to 75%. So if somebody else, or I will vote yes, rather. So if anybody else stays with me, it will pass. And the rest of you can have untouched souls.
Got it. Councilmember Burns, you have any feeling?
Yes. Yeah, yeah, I don't have a problem with this.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. I also don't have a problem with, councils getting paid. We are a part-time council. We do a lot of work, but I don't think that 1.5% is significant at all. I think it's actually minor. But I do understand the fact that other councils don't get paid, so I'm fine either way. And it sounds like my vote won't count.
Yeah, it's $30.
It's $30, yeah.
$30, okay, all
And
right.
spread it out over a year.
So we have a roll call vote on that one? So this is accept or, so this is a motion to accept?
Yes.
Okay.
Madam
Can
Mayor.
I?
Yes, please?
Madam Mayor, if it's accepted, I just wanted to point out that this is based on the Local Officers Compensation Commission minutes, that the mayor's salary is currently $6,010, and the new salary will be $6,100. The mayor pro tem's salary is currently $5,009, and the new salary will be $5,084. And the council member's current salary is $4,675, and the new salary will be $4,745.
Don't spend it all in one place.
Okay, roll call, please.
Councilmember Burns.
Yes.
Mayor McClellan.
No.
Councilmember Seligson.
Yes.
Councilmember Speech.
Yes.
Motion carried, thank you.
15B, I'd like to call our Economic Development Manager, Kim Maroney, to the podium, but it gives me, I want to say before that I do that it gives me great pride to be able to speak to this project, so if you could set it up for us, and then we have some guests.
Yes, good evening, Mayor and council members. We're excited to be here tonight to ask you for final site plan approval for a development on the Armory site in Northland Shopping Center. It went in front of the Planning Commission on Monday evening with unanimous approval, and it includes a total of 54 acres, a portion that will be on the Northland Center Shopping Mall, and the rest will be on the Armory site. And we have with us tonight Scannell Properties. They are going to be the developer. And Chris Miller is going to come up and do a short little presentation, and then we'll be happy to answer any questions that you have after that.
Thank you. Phenomenal job getting this for Oak Park.
Good evening. Again, I'm Chris Miller with Scannell Properties. We're the developer for this project. We have in front of you, I think we're getting it on the screen as well. We'll have the same thing on the board over here. It'll be a little bit easier for me to point to. I'll give you kind of a quick rundown. There we go. Excellent. Kind of a quick rundown. I know a lot of you were here last week, so I'll try to not be too lengthy, but also for the benefit of those who were not here, a little bit of an introduction of the project. As Kimberly mentioned, we're on the Armory parcel and somewhat on the Northland parcel as well, which is Greenfield Road. I'll point over here with the laser pointer. On the west and 8 Mile, just off the screen here to the south. The project has an entrance off of Greenfield with a fairly large auto parking lot, followed by, it's hard to see here, but a small security building which controls access to the facility, both vehicular and employees. And then obviously the functional part of the facility here with trailer parking, approximately 300,000 square foot distribution center, small maintenance facility, as well as a tiny little spot to store salt, which is very interesting, I'm sure. Stormwater detention, we have it in 3 spots currently. Down here on the Northland parcel, up here within the wall on the north side of the property, and a rather large one here on the south side of the parcel. A key component of the project, as we've been studying for quite some time, and Kimberly and all the other staff that have been working with us for a long time, is the concern over noise generation of this facility. So it's hard to tell from here, but as we discussed last week, we have a sound wall and berm combination which surrounds the northwest, and again the north and the east sides of the property. It's a combination of an earthen berm and a wall which would be used to stop sound from traveling from within the facility out. The total height is 25 feet, of which there will be a varying amount of earth and a varying amount of wall, but the total will always be 25. in general, I think we're looking at about maybe 5 to 10 feet on the earthen portion. And then in front of the wall, in addition to the berm, we have a decent amount of buffering on all sides as much as we could, or we can add additional landscaping both on the berm and in front of it. And then particularly on the north side of the property, we try to stay as far away from the property line as possible. There's quite a bit of vegetation there currently. We're trying to save as much of that as possible just for additional visual screening. Same, but to a lesser extent on the east side of the property. There's a buffer strip that's owned by the city that helps. There's some trees and whatnot in there. And again, we have the berm with landscaping on that side as well. And we have, like I said, we did a lot of modeling on the sound levels for this facility. We have with us tonight Aaron Farbo from Kavanaugh Tachi Associates, if we have any questions in that regard. He and his colleagues can attest that we, I couldn't count how many iterations we went through on this. Differing heights, differing locations, shapes and orientations of the building, all with the goal of minimizing potential impact to the neighbors. A lot of time and effort put into this. I'll go to the next slide here, which I don't have on the board over there, but let me do this real quick. So this exhibit, let me back up a little bit. In the Oak Park Code, there is an ordinance regarding noise. And in this case, it limits us to, works out to 54 decibels, which is something Aaron can get into if we wish. We modeled this wall in a way that we would comply just as a bare minimum to that code. And if you kind of follow going from left to right, you can see that the wall varies 11 feet, 24 feet, 12 feet, 18 and 20 feet. So that's kind of the bare minimum, so to speak, to meet the code. We were not particularly interested in just meeting the code. We feel like we should be a little bit better than that. We and our tenant like to be a good neighbor and try to minimize to the fullest extent we can any impacts. So what we've done is we've changed all those to the 25 feet as mentioned before. So it's quite a substantial increase over what the bare minimum is. We did a few kind of artistic computer-generated renderings of what this might look like. Here's just kind of the general site. Again, you'll see 3 red dots. That's kind of the views we'll be seeing here next. We'll start from the left there. Obviously, this is artistic interpretation here by a computer modeler. But the important thing to take from here is you can see the wall and kind of the scale of that wall. And if you look just barely, I'll try to point it out from your view. It doesn't show up. Kind of in between the trees there and about the third of the way in, you see a little white sliver. And that's the amount of the building that you can actually see kind of sticking out. So granted, there's some artistic generosity given to this, but the concept and the scaling and the distances are all correct. The wall is modeled to the right height. The building is modeled to the right height. So again, kind of showing that apart from the wall, which is nicely vegetated, you actually don't see a whole lot of the facility behind. We'll go next to the red dot to the north. Kind of taking a little bit further back, and this spot is actually modeled at a location where there's not a lot of existing vegetation, just somewhat by coincidence. The tree cover to the right is meant to model what is there, and then some of the newer trees there are what we would be putting in. And we intentionally did not show,
Could there be some more trees so that there isn't any just blank wall showing?
There actually are. This was 2 different people drawing things, and the intent is that any new trees we would add in would be to fill in those spots. And so there was probably a little bit of an artistic gap here, but the intent is that we would adjust locations as necessary to make sure that we are not leaving big bare spots.
And then just, the wall is shown as white, and I thought something taupe or khaki or some kind of subtle color.
It's something we could pursue, we could look into. At this point, we had not planned on painting it any certain color, but it's something we could pursue possibly. And as I mentioned, when we had them draw trees in, we didn't and we intentionally did not say, hey, don't pick a 100-year-old mature tree. These are kind of showing it, maybe a few years in, 2 to 3 years of growth. So we're not trying to mislead as to expect to see a 40-foot tall tree when it's going to get planted at 8 feet tall. So, and then the last location is from the east side, the last red dot there on the right.
East side is the, their homes, and this is looking from the
Correct.
backyard of the homes?
There's actually two shots here. The first one is kind of maybe sitting on your back porch, so to speak. A lot of the homes there have a fence, maybe a 6-foot or 7-foot privacy fence. So you can kind of see that helps a little bit, but you still do see the wall kind of, above and beyond that. And the second view is actually a little higher. A lot of there, if there are any, I don't think there are, but if there were a 2-story home there, this is kind of the idea of what you would see out your window from a 2nd-story window. Again, there you can kind of see the building starting to pop up beyond the wall. But again, the idea of, the berm being landscaped and kind of minimizing the kind of visual impact of a large object in between you.
How much space between their backyard fence and this fence?
Between their fence and our fence, I was thinking 150, about 150, 160 feet, I believe.
Right.
We're about, I think about 80 feet or so from, 80 to 100 feet from our property line, and then there's the buffer that the city owns, which is 50 or 60 feet. Yeah. And then,
And then,
I think
right
that's
now,
the
what
last
they're
one.
looking at is just kind of an empty field with some mature trees and some plants and some,
correct, yeah, what's there now is,
a little wildlife, but we
A
can't
little
get the
wildlife.
deer to pay taxes. That's-
you could try.
I just want to make sure, because I'm not an architect, so a lot of the stuff you're saying is going over my head.
Sure.
But basically, you're telling us that we're going to have a facility designed where the residents can't hear or can't see the noise, and you're just giving us the layout of that?
Correct, yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I'm not saying that you won't hear or see it, obviously, there's a
I mean,
wall in the
yeah.
building there, but, yeah, we've made a lot of efforts to minimize any disruption and met, and not going above and beyond the ordinance limits for what amount of noise can kind of exit the site.
Okay. Thank you.
So I just wanted to, just to the council member's point, some of them have not seen this, so the planning commission has, but
True,
they haven't. So,
true, correct, yeah.
And if I could call our economic development manager up, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I want to just, Kim, if you could just back up a couple of steps and, tell council number of jobs over the 10-year period, square footage, investment, dollars, those kinds of things.
So the amount of employment that they're anticipating at ramp up would be about 200 to 250 employees after that. They're not sure exactly, maybe another 100 employees. As far as investment dollars, we're looking anywhere between $25 and $35 million that would be invested on that property. And your last question was? I'm
Square
sorry.
footage of
Square
the
footage.
facility.
The buildings, the three of them total roughly 303,000 square feet. One thing I do want to point out with Scannell Properties and their engineering firm, Giffords Webster, is we've been working with them for many, many months now, and they are not only interested in meeting our standards, but they want to exceed them. And they have made every effort sitting down with us and making adjustments. Initially, the site plan showed the building near to the property lines. They pulled it further in, added the sound walls higher to reduce the noise levels, and added additional landscaping that certainly enhances the view from all of the residents and all of the commercial properties surrounding that. So they have done everything above and beyond what we've asked.
Director Maroney, do we know how many years this property has sat vacant now?
I don't know that answer. It's been decades.
Before I got here, that's a long time.
Yeah, I've asked
We're
that
trying to
question.
figure out
I
how to
can't
get
get
rid
an
of
answer,
that.
Councilmember speech.
Yes, two questions. One of them about jobs. In relation to building the site up, will there be any jobs created with that? And then also, I know there'll be jobs, but as far as, local jobs. And then also with the sound barrier, is there going to be anything to help with sound barrier during construction?
As far as construction jobs, I know they're looking to hire a lot of local construction companies. One of them that is in relation to the sound wall is a local company. They've done these facilities before, and they're actually working to put that sound wall up before construction to reduce the noise level, which is another kudos to Scannell for doing that.
Try to do that very first thing that we do, hopefully.
Typically, that's not done ahead of construction. That's the last thing done. They're doing it ahead of it this time.
Sounds like a wonderful company that is interested in pleasing its neighbors.
Yes, yes, it's a nationally known company, and they want to make sure that their name does not get tarnished.
It's wonderful.
Okay, you said, I know it's going to be on the Light Guard Armory site and a portion of the Northland site?
Correct. If you look at the site plan there in front of you, the Northland site is all of the parking lot for that facility. So that is Zone B2, which allows for large parking lots, and the additional portion to the east of it is the Armory site, which is a PUD, and we did approve for a site conceptual plan at our February Planning Commission meeting.
Thank you.
This is a piece of property that has sat vacant for a very long time, and it's a wonderful thing to have a nice company join the Oak Park family. Yes.
I just wanted to make one comment, and that is, this is all on the back lot. This is not the 8 Mile, all the property on 8 Mile Road. So that will make, I think, having this facility on the back end with 250, 350 people, that will make our property, our 8 Mile Road property, much more appealing to the next developer. So this is nothing but absolutely fantastic for the city. It's probably the biggest project since I've been here. It's fantastic.
All those people have to eat in restaurants and go to the cleaners and go shopping and everything, and so it's a boon to the city.
Great job.
We ready for?
Thank you very much.
Thank
Have any
you.
other questions? I'm open.
I don't have any questions. I'm excited. And as I'm going to be a neighbor, I'm on that right there, right behind the wall, so.
Oh, are you?
Yes. So I'm excited to hear about what
We'll
you
paint
all
a
are
message
doing.
for you on there.
We'll have to have you in on the color of the wall question. That's great. Are we ready for a vote?
So moved.
So we've got a motion, do we?
Just
So
did.
moved.
So moved.
I seconded it.
Second. This is historic. So a historic vote.
Mayor McClellan.
Absolutely, yes.
Councilmember Seligson.
Yes.
Councilmember Speech.
Yes.
Councilmember Burns.
Yes, 100% yes.
Passed unanimously. Welcome to our city. We're delighted to have you. Thank you.
Madam Mayor, members of council, 15B1, I'd like to call our Economic Development Manager back to the podium if you could explain
Yes.
this for us.
Yes, thank you for adding this agenda item. The Ethnic Advisory Commission holds a World Dance Day that is held every year on April 29th worldwide, and this year's event was unable to be held at our community center because there's programming in the community center on that date. Since the date can't be changed, we looked for alternative locations and found that at the high school with help from our mayor and council member Speech. We were able to get the auditorium at the high school free of charge. However, there is an expense for AV, security, and janitorial fees, and we're asking that the city council approve the expenditure not to exceed $250. And they have the money that they've raised through their Summerfest food vendors last year. They have an account for $676, so they have the funds already.
So we are just spending the commission's raised money, and so we need a motion to approve this expenditure.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. We'd like to thank the Oak Park School District for being so cooperative with us and giving us this beautiful auditorium for nothing. It is a delightful event, the 29th, April 29th. And come and see all the dancers. They're spectacular. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Seligson.
Yes.
Councilmember Speech.
Yes.
Councilmember Burns.
Yes.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes, motion carried.
Madam Mayor, members of council, I'd like to call our Director of Public Safety to the podium for 15C, please.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Before you have a request for a traffic control order number 160, section 1.15. The Public Safety Department received citizen complaints regarding the traffic congestion, speeding motorists, and motorists not obeying the posted signage at the intersection of Gardner and Lincoln Street. Residents expressed concern for the safety of the students who walk to and from the schools in the immediate area, and those schools are Avery and Norp schools. Traffic seems to be extremely heavy during commencement and dismissal hours. Based on these concerns, I contacted the Traffic Improvement Association, TIA, to have a study conducted of the area. The study included a field observation and a site review, as well as a crash data study covering the period from January 1st, 2012 through December 31st of 2014. And their findings revealed one crash that occurred at the west portion of the intersection. It was also discovered that the parking was taking place too close to Gardner, to the Gardner intersection and the north-south crosswalk. There was minor congestion in the area, and also vehicular traffic yielding to pedestrian was very low. And based on the Traffic Improvement Association's findings, they have recommended the following. That we refresh the crosswalk markings using an enhanced marking type, either continental or another type. Post no parking signs 20 feet from the crosswalk or sidewalk extensions from each quadrant, and install in advance school zone signs east of the crossing, approximately at the exit school, legend pavement marking locations, and refresh the school marking as well. My recommendation, I'm asking council to adopt the traffic control order 160 1.15 and implement the recommendations spelled out by the Traffic Improvement Association.
Okay, do we have a motion?
So moved. Second?
Discussion or questions? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Speech?
Yes.
Councilmember Burns?
Yes.
Mayor McClellan?
Yes.
Councilmember Saxon?
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Mayor, members of council, before I get to 15D, I wanted to remind everyone that we'll be having our second town hall meeting tomorrow night in council chambers at 6 p.m. We will have some state representatives here as our guests to discuss the statewide ballot proposal 15-1, as well as our local ballot proposal, public sale of spirits and mixed spirits in local restaurants. Having said that, it is I won't say my pleasure, but another budget year has passed. And so the first thing that I wanted to do was draw your attention to our city council work session schedule that we'll be putting in place for the two special meetings to occur next Monday and Tuesday at 6 p.m. right here in this room. All of the department directors will be coming to present their budgets, and I'll be giving a wrap-up as I have in previous years.
These are open meetings.
This is all open meetings. The room will be open. Public is welcome to join us. Moving on to the budget document, if I could, we're going to be passing out the draft budget, and I stress draft. This is a working document, and it is intended to be changed. I will say this, that it represents a two-year budget, as we did last year with the fiscal year 16-17 budget, a projected budget year. And when we get to the budget sessions, I'll go into more detail. Fiscal year 15-16 will be another stable year for our city, and will be within policy requirements for our general fund balance against expenditures, as I know you're all very interested in. With that, I'll take any questions, or we can wrap up the city manager report.
Thank you, City Manager Tungate. You need a motion to accept the draft budget.
So moved.
And what?
Second?
Yep, and the work session schedule.
Yeah. So moved.
Moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Members of the city are welcome to join us next Monday and Tuesday, April 27th and 28th at 6 p.m.
Madam Mayor, members of council, that completes the city manager report for this evening.
Thank you, City Manager Tungate. Next, we have call to the audience. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Give us your name and address if you'd like to come up.
Beverly Miller, 13231 Oak Park Boulevard. I would like to make a comment about these people picking up our trash. On Oak Park Boulevard, they have broke my garbage can and 3 neighbors' garbage cans with holes in them, and stuff is all on the medium, diapers and everything, and they do not pick up this stuff. They don't pick it up. But we have to go out there and do it ourselves, and this is happening every week. And I can't mention anything to them, so I'm just telling you, Oak Park Boulevard should not have baby diapers and Depends and everything on the medium and in the middle of the street, and the garbage cans got big holes in them. They take our garbage cans, and when they try to dump them in there, they hit the little knob and the holes in the garbage can. These garbage cans are not cheap. So I think that needs to be checked. All you gotta do is drive down Oak Park Boulevard, and some of the same junk that was there last week is still there this week on the medium. So y'all need to check that out. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Bob Mosier. I represent the Detroit Western Suburbs Senior Softball, which is encompasses 65 plus and 70 plus. I have here with me Joe Cole, who is the Oak Park manager. Oak Park has played softball for over 20 years. They are going to join our league. We have 14 teams in our league. That's approximately 250 men. We were really looking forward to Joe and his team to join our league. We play from end of April to the end of August. I've been associated with it for about 6 years. Joe would be new to our league. However, I'm here because I live in Canton. Canton is one of the teams. We have Westland, we have Livonia, we have Redford, we have Taylor, Dearborn. So we're well represented, and we were really looking forward to Oak Park, but it doesn't look like it may happen. Why? The cost to Joe is prohibitive. My team and some of the others pay an average of about $20 per game. We have a 32 game season in the 65 plus, and we have a 30 game season in the 70 plus. Now these men are from 64 to 80s. We're trying to be healthy. We love baseball. We always have. Unfortunately, the senior rate right now, Joe tells me, is $120 per game.
125.
125, sorry. Which is over the top. Now that's 100% more than any of our other teams are paying. So I'm asking the City of Oak Park, the Recreation Department, and of course Mr. Tungate and the mayor to take a look, and the Recreation Director, take a look. Call the other rec departments. They're open. Some of them don't charge. I'm saying that they value seniors, and they enjoy us. We would come to your community. We would take part in your, we always go to restaurants. We play at 10 a.m. in the morning. So we're not a burden at all. We're in, we play, we have lunch, and we leave. So I'm asking you to take a look. And our league actually starts next week. So I would ask for if we could take a look this week and see what you could do. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming, and
well, thank
I'm
you.
proud of all of you for playing.
Thank you.
And not sitting on the couch and being active and doing what you're supposed to be doing. City Manager Tungate would like to speak to this.
I would like to follow up with you guys, and I think the Recreation Director and I can contact you tomorrow and get a better breakdown and have a discussion.
Were there comments from the City Council?
I'm just surprised and devastated that it's that expensive per game.
So were we. You know, we played $30 per game for the last few years.
At Oak Park.
At Oak Park. And we've played here almost 20 years now. And so now, you know, we've been featured in the Detroit News and Free Press. We've traveled throughout the Midwest and played in tournaments representing Oak Park. We even bought shirts with Oak Park plastered all over them for this year.
Oh.
So, and now for us to have to leave and go to another city is going to be disappointing.
Councilmember speech.
Well, I share the sentiments of Councilmember Burns, but I was also going to ask when did the change occur? And I'm glad the city manager will be following up with you and also Director Hall. And certainly we, you know, if we can be of any assistance to help, but I trust City Manager Tungate will help get it rectified.
And that's one of the problems. We weren't notified of the change until 3 weeks before the season begins, you know. So it doesn't give us a lot of time to do anything.
Too costly.
So.
So you will be hearing from our city manager, and we hope we will be welcome you back to Oak Park.
Let's hope so. Thank you.
Certainly hope so. Thank you very much. Have a
Thank
good
you for
evening.
coming, all the way from Canton. You might be the one that traveled the farthest to attend this meeting.
It's worth it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. Menachem Hoyda, 15141 Dartmouth, and I'm here to talk a little bit about some of the things that are going on at the school district. First of all, I want to thank the city for hosting the art competition and for hosting our students earlier tonight. It's really, as the mayor said, it's inspiring to see some of the work these students are doing, and to have it shown off here in the City Hall is a great message for the importance that the city puts on the work that the students are doing. I also wanted to mention some great news that we got just today for one of our high school students, Jordan Bailey, who has received the Gates Millennium Scholarship. This is the third student that we've had in the last 4 years that has received this very prestigious and competitive scholarship. And what it means is that the Gates Foundation will pay for all of the cost of her education for whatever degree she pursues going forward, including postgraduate. And as I said, this is something over the last 4 years, we've had 3 Gates Millennium Scholars and 1 finalist. So we're very proud of her. I did want to mention a couple of events that are coming up in the school district that we'd love for people to take part in. Of course, we have the kindergarten roundup that's going on right now for the Great Start Readiness Program. There's an open house in every one of our elementary schools. That's Einstein, Key, and Pepper, and that's going to be this Thursday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. And that's a great opportunity for people to come and learn about some of the options that are available in the Great Start Readiness Program. And the registration office is open now for people to take advantage of that. We're sure people are hearing our marching band, our award-winning marching band, practicing throughout the year, and they're going to be performing at the 4th of July parade, of course, just like they do every year. They're also going to be hosting the Battle of the Bands high stepping competition, and that's going to be Saturday, April 25th at 3 p.m. at Oak Park High School. So we hope people will come and witness hundreds of elementary, middle school, and high school instrumental music and auxiliary students performing together. And this year it's very exciting. We have an elementary marching band that's going to be starting this year, so we're very excited to show that off at this event as well. Our choral program is also phenomenal, and they're going to be having their concert with the band for our first gospel and jazz concert. That's Thursday, May 21st at 6 p.m. in Oak Park High School Auditorium. And so we hope people will join us for that. And finally, I wanted to talk about our golf outing, our 5th annual golf outing to benefit the Oak Park Education Foundation. And the Education Foundation helps students, helps fund some of those extra items that unfortunately we don't have in the budget. So that supports our robotics team, it supports our arts, athletics, and some of the academic games. In the past, we've used that money to pay for band uniforms and choir uniforms, as well as educational experiences for both our academic games and robotics teams. For more information about that, it's going to be at Plum Hollow Country Club on Monday, July 20th in Southfield. And for more information, people can contact Jan Brill or Stan Trumpeter at 248-336-7715. And finally, we're challenging the community to be part of our Get Fit initiative, which is our partnership with St. John's Providence. And we have a women's health seminar coming up on Wednesday, May 13th and May 22nd. I'm sorry, on Wednesday, May 13th. May 22nd is going to be the Hustle for Your Heart initiative from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at every school building. And we encourage everyone daily to think positively, walk 1 mile a day, and drink 8 glasses of water for better health. If anyone has any questions or concerns in general about the school district, they shouldn't hesitate to contact Dr. Colbert in the superintendent's office, who's always happy to speak to anyone's questions or concerns, and her number is 248-336-7705. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming. Anyone else? Okay. Next, we have call to council. I expected the school district to brag on the school district making the Oakland Press Sunday, April 19th. Oak Park Knights still the leaders of the pack. This is the girls runners, who are extraordinary. Division I state champion Oak Park is on another plane from the rest of the teams, and they can hold their own with any major college team in Michigan. Makes that pretty extraordinary. Congratulations to our girls. I was on the track walking my mile today and met one of the winning girls. Congratulations. And Coach Giles said that the coaches have a very high standard for the kids, and they coach to keep them at a high level. And obviously that's working. A couple things came to me that I'd like to share, just from Nadine Coleman, who is the president of the Sussex Street Block Club. Just sent an email to say the signs are absolutely beautiful. Please give my thanks to whomever was responsible for getting them approved and posted. So thanks to City Manager Tungate and Assistant City Manager Yee for making this reality. That was wonderful. Something from a long time doctor in our community, Ramsey Das. Ramsey Das sent, "Dear brothers and sisters, the American Middle East Christian Congress stands by you on this solemn occasion of the Holocaust remembrance, and we hope that we say never again. I do know firsthand about the Holocaust, as I had many survivors who were my patients in Oak Park. As you know, we are celebrating the 100th anniversary of the Armenian Syriac genocide. May the Lord in his wisdom bring tranquility, peace, and comfort to all." Our Dr. Ramsey Das, which was nice, very nice. Again, we have our town hall meeting coming tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. Take another look at Proposition 1 and take a look at the Oak Park ballot initiative to bring wonderful restaurants to the city of Oak Park. right here in this council chamber room tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. If you're, as I was doing my 1-mile walk, I met someone who said, no, I don't think I want the noise. And I said, well, would you like a family restaurant like Applebee's? And she said, yes, I would love a family restaurant like Applebee's. And I said, well, they require a liquor license to come to our city. She said, well, I think I would approve it then. So we'd like you to take a look at that one also. You heard about our budget meetings coming up, April 27th and 28th from 6 to 9:30. We are preparing for Independence Day and the best ever Summerfest that you have ever seen. Amazing things are happening with Summerfest. Come, bring your kids and grandkids. Don't miss it. It's the second weekend in August, August 8th and 9th. You'll be getting all kinds of information and posters about that event. Last council meeting, we okayed a beer tent for Summerfest to benefit a wonderful nonprofit in the city of Oak Park, Forgotten Harvest. It will be closed off from the rest of the festivities. And someone asked me, why don't we have it on the street? Why is it in the park? And I thought back to when we had our economic development director. We had a group coming to explain how to get development in Oak Park. And we said, why not on 9 and Coolidge? And they said, well, you've invested all this money in this area with your new building and your new library and your new community center. This is the area that you want to show off. And after we've had some development, 9 and Coolidge will be booming, and we can move it to 9 and Coolidge when that area is something that's wonderful. So we have new signs, as you noticed. We're going to be having flowers planted to cheer our summer on, and that's the end of my comments. Council member Speech, would you like to speak?
Yes. Just wanted to say that I'm very proud of everything that is good going on in Oak Park. Congratulations to the Oak Park School District for graduating or about to graduate their third Gates Millennial Scholar. That is very exciting, and I'm just glad to see that the school district is prospering. I hear there are some great things going on in the other school districts as well, so I'm just excited that Oak Park is connected to that. I wanted to say kudos to Manager Maroney and the team and everything that's going on with the development in the Armory site, because that is a long time coming. Very exciting to see everything else that's going to come from that. And wanted to remind everyone, we made mention of it, but I just want to make mention again about World Dance Day, which is coming April 29th. The Ethnic Advisory Commission puts that on every year, and this year will be happening at the Oak Park High School Auditorium on April 29th. I believe it's at 6 p.m. So we would love for you all to come. There's actually different dance groups from around the area that will be performing, youth groups and adult groups that will be performing. It is free and open to the public. And lastly, I want to extend my deepest condolences to one of our colleagues, Mayor Pro Tem Levine, and his family in the passing of his mother, Evelyn Levine. That's all.
Thank you. Councilmember Burns.
Thank everyone for coming out this evening. I was very honored to be a part of the recognition for our students and their artwork. I also want to mention that we have the Arbor Day coming up on Friday, the 24th, at Pepper Elementary, where they're going to be planting a tree around 11 o'clock. So if you can, come out and please participate in that. Wanted to also say we had a very successful lawn care seminar last Wednesday. There were about 40 or 50 residents that came out, and it was very successful. Thank everyone for participating. Also wanted to inform our residents that we have sold out of our 95-gallon carts that we ordered for the city. So we had 250, and they're all sold out. So thank you. Stay warm, and the weather is changing. Be careful when you're doing your lawn maintenance after the winter, the cleanup, the spring cleanup. There are a lot of injuries that are taking place, and for those of us that have physical issues, please take your time and don't rake your lawn by yourself. Have a safe evening.
Councilmember Seligson.
Ditto to everything, especially condolences to Mayor Pro Tem Levine and his family.
The city council will be sending something in remembrance of Paul Levine's wonderful, wonderful mother. Next, we need a motion to go into closed session pursuant to Section 8 of the Open Meetings Act to discuss attorney-client privilege communication, pending litigation, collective bargaining agreements, and/or contract negotiations.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Burns?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem, Mayor McClellan?
Yes.
Councilmember Seligson?
Yes, if it takes less than 5 minutes.
Councilmember Speech?
Yes.
We're now in closed session. There will not be a vote or anything after that except to approve the minutes. So thank you all for coming and staying till the bitter end. Yes.
Number one, you have not.
I know it's $6.